वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल इंग्लिश विद क्षमा। डियर चिल्ड्रन, जैसे कि हमने फर्स्ट पार्ट में साहिब आलम के बारे में पढ़ा था लॉस्ट स्प्रिंग के, टुडे वी शैल बी डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द सेकंड पार्ट इन विच we will be discussing the hazards of working in the glass Bengal industry with no proper infrastructure and basic amenities. Herein, we shall be studying about Mukesh, a boy like Sahib Alam, in the first part of the chapter. Now, Mukesh's attitude to his situation different from that of his family. How and why? So, let us start the second part of the chapter, Lost Spring. Now, Mukesh, he's a child laborer in glass factory in Firozabad. He wishes to be a motor mechanic, wants to learn to drive a car. His family is unaware that child labor is illegal and is banned by the law. Let us see how it happens. Now, working condition in glass furnaces in Firozabad, there are high temperatures, dingy, ill-lit cells, poorly ventilated. Children lose their eyesight at a very early age. Now, these children work for long hours in these hot furnaces with high temperature, bends the back of these children, and it leads to loss of vision at an early age and makes them old prematurely. This is how the working conditions are in the Bengal industry. Now, living conditions in Firozabad as whole, there are stinking lanes choked with garbage, houses with crumbling walls, wobbly doors, and no windows. Human and animals both live together in these hovels. And dear children, the town lacks all the basic amenities. We can understand this with these points. It lacks all the basic amenities despite a nationwide ban on child labor. No one bothers to check the involvement of approximately 20,000 children in the Bengal industry working in dingy, unhygienic, garbage-strewn streets and the poor working and living conditions of Firozabad. Now, when author Anis Jung visits Mukesh's house, what she notices that it was a half-built shack with thatched dead grass roofs and wobbly iron door. Wobbly here means something which is about to collapse, जो गिरने वाला हो. There was a firewood stove and there were aluminium utensils. Aluminium के बर्तन थे और stove जल रहा था. There lived 3 generations in such a small house. The grandmother, Mukesh's father, his elder brother with his wife. Elder brother's wife follow custom of the family with veil, that is parda, in front of male elders of the family. She also cooks food for the entire family. She is a responsible female at a very small age. Now, she is, you can say, the sister-in-law has the responsibility of looking after the whole family. Unlike Mukesh, she doesn't work in glass furnaces. मुकेश की तरह वो ग्लास फर्नेस में काम नहीं करती है, but she has to shoulder the burden of doing all the household chores in a hovel-like home and withdraw behind a veil in the presence of the male elders. Mukesh's father, he has achieved nothing despite years of hard, back-breaking labor. He says, although he is the head of the family, but he is a poverty-stricken person, unable to even renovate a house or provide education to his 2 sons. Maybe because of he represented the underpaid, overexploited bangle maker of Firozabad, and maybe because of that he is unable to renovate the house or provide proper education to his 2 sons. Only legacy he can hand over to his children is the art of bangle making and nothing else. He is, you can say, he might have tried exploring other profession, but then yes, it is written in the chapter also that he tried 2 professions, that one was of the tailor and the bangle maker. He has not been able to build either a pakka house for his family or provide education to his own children. Now, Mukesh's grandmother view of life. When author met Mukesh's grandmother, she seems to be a fatalist. Fatalist means कि वो अपनी ही किस्मत पे विश्वास करती है. उसको लगता है कि जो भी हमें मिल रहा है, it is all because of the destiny of the family. So, present state of affairs is a result of karma or destiny as per her. She has actually quietly accepted her husband's blindness caused by dust of glass bangle. She believes in art of bangle making to be God-given lineage. So it is concluded that she is a fatalist and she views bangle making as a destiny of her family. Her husband's blindness, their all misfortune, impoverished condition. She said that it is all predestined by the God. Because years of, you can say, dear children, deprivation and suffering make her silently accept everything in the name of karma or fate. So she says that this is all God-given lineage. This is her view of life. Now, birth in the caste of Bengal makers, unescapable destiny. Now, this is being born in the caste of Bengal makers in Firozabad is both a destiny and a curse. It is not only destiny, it is a curse also, because their birth, their extreme poverty, lack of education and opportunity makes them take up the profession of bangle making at an early age. And their eyes are more adjusted to darkness than light. This actually, when they take up the profession of making bangles at an early age, this particular thing closes all doors and stops them from exploring any other avenue in life. They end up losing their spirit as well as their eyesight. Eventually, it happens. They become blind, sightless even before attaining the adulthood. So they become, they lose their spirits as well because they cannot do anything else but make bangles. Now, irony in perception, dear children. They all know that bangles are symbol of suhag, that is husband's long life. A girl child labor will become bride, will wear same bangles but lose eyesight, become old with bangles on wrist, sightless, eyes and empty stomach. So herein the author has taken the example of Savita, a girl who is a child labor, but then she will also acquire the status of a married woman in her life. But then this status would not bring any positive change in her life. This is what the author wants to say. She will also become old with bangles on wrist, sightless eyes and empty stomach. So that means कि उसकी शादी होने के बाद भी the married status, the marital status would not bring any positive change in her life. On the contrary, when she gets married and wears these bangles, her eyesight might already have started failing her. And even as a married woman, she would be struggling hard to fight want and hunger. Want here means that she is unable to even get food for one time food for a day for her stomach. Now time stands still in Firozabad. It appears that there is no development and there is only exploitation in Firozabad. Because again, dear children, it is all because of acute poverty, lack of education, absence of infrastructural development and exploitation, which has actually robbed people's energy, willpower and initiative to do progress or to talk about some development. Poverty, illiteracy, dissatisfaction, this all prevails. All laborers are victims of middlemen and politicians. Back-breaking, mind-numbing hard work and glass furnaces has left them with no time or desire to dream for a better future. ना तो उन पे टाइम है, ना उनकी अब इच्छा रह गई है. The entire initiative has been killed. They have accepted poverty as their fate. So it is not only the grandmother of Mukesh who thinks that this is their destiny and she has accepted everything like that. It is generally you can say the people in general. They also they do not have the ability to see dreams. Like it has there is a lack of initiative and an ability to dream differently, just like Mukesh's grandmother. Now, getting organized into a cooperative society, a distant dream. The author had asked that why don't you organize yourself into a cooperative society? So it is a distant dream for these people because reason being fear of police, lack of leadership, trap of middlemen, trap of sahukars are some factors which does not allow them to get organized. They are caught in vicious circle of poverty, indifference, greed and injustice. Sometimes they are hauled up by the police, beaten and dragged to jail for doing something illegal. They all are tired of their circumstances but cannot raise their voice. The reason is again lack of education, awareness, and acute poverty has broken the spirit of not only the old but also of the younger generation. So they do not organize in a cooperatives. Moreover, dear children, as we have discussed just now, the fear of sahukar, middlemen, and politician doesn't let the cooperative movement take shape. Now we discussed in the first part also that it is the politician, it is the vote who only give them some temptation, some bait, some gift at the time of the election, and after that they forget the promises made to the rag pickers. Herein also, where the people at Firozabad, they live under the constant fear of sahukar, middlemen, and politician, and they do not, you can say, let the cooperative movement take any shape. This is a very unfortunate part, because and that is how they do not have a leadership also. Now children are the victims of the two worlds. First is the born in poverty ridden family with the stigma of caste. Secondly, dear children, ruled by sahukars, middlemen, policemen, bureaucrats, and politicians. These children, now this means the first word of the poverty ridden family and caste stigma, which forces them to compromise. Now let us discuss these 2 points. They are born in poverty ridden family with the stigma of caste. Now this means that they are forced to compromise in their life, compromise in their living condition, compromise on the part of education, compromise on every aspect of their life. So this is just a stigma of caste. They have to compromise. उन्हें हर चीज में कहीं ना कहीं अपना adjustment करना ही पड़ता है. Second is ruled by sahukars, middlemen, policemen, bureaucrats, and politicians. That means that these people exploit and suppresses them. So these children are the victims of two worlds. One is the stigma of caste, which means that they have to compromise at every aspect of their life. हर जगह उन्हें compromise करना पड़ता है. ना वो education ले पाते हैं, ना वो कुछ leadership कर पाते हैं, ना ही कोई और profession वो adopt कर पाते हैं. दिस इज द स्टिग्मा ऑफ कास्ट, क्योंकि उन पे रिसोर्सेज नहीं है, उनके पास अपॉर्चुनिटीज ही नहीं है. सेकेंड इज they are ruled by sahukars, since they are not educated, since they do not have opportunity, since they are not you can say progressive society or progressive something, they are ruled by bureaucrats and politicians who exploit them and who oppresses them. That is just the victim of the two. Now, Mukesh is an exception. As per the chapter, Mukesh, he is an exception. He aspires to be a motor mechanic. He also realizes that dreaming of aeroplanes would be overreaching for himself. Ironically, few planes fly over Firozabad. But then Mukesh is different. He is a rebel. He dared to dream of a different life and wished to become a motor mechanic. Unlike his peers, his spark did not get extinguished. Now, औरों की तरह जो फिरोजाबाद में उसकी एज ग्रुप के बच्चे हैं, उनकी तरह मुकेश का जो स्पार्क है, मुकेश में जो कुछ और करने की इच्छा है, it has not extinguished. वो अभी बुझी नहीं है. He is a rebel and he has dared to dream of a different life and wished to become a motor mechanic. On being asked by the author that what if the garage is at a distance, he says that I will walk and I will go to the garage and learn the driving. Now, dear children, a very, very important question which is being asked, and we should understand also that why child labor should be banned. Now, in my viewpoint, child labor should be totally banned. Children are the future generation of any country. They are the hope of tomorrow. If they will be suppressed and exploited like Mukesh and others, then the loss will be ours. It will be borne by the whole country. पूरे country को वो जो loss है वो bear करना पड़ेगा, because there might be somebody who is a rebel, who is a bright child, but then he has not been provided with opportunities, तो वो बिल्कुल ही exploit होके रह जाता है और suppress होके रह जाता है. So child labor should be completely banned. Now for this, what can be done? Public awareness, ban on child labor through print, audio and visual media, enforcement of law, compulsory education for children up to 14 years of age, Frequent checks by government and NGOs will go a long way in eliminating child labor and making our future generation physically, mentally, and emotionally liberated. So, dear children, I hope that you must have understood the chapter well. Thank you.